Madam C, and welcome to a bit of a news report in a way. So in recent months I've been coming down to Rufford Ford, which is exactly where I'm at today. We've got the reservoir up there. I haven't showed you much of that, but I will be doing a lot today. And there is news about the Ford because as a result of some of the driving that has taken place and some of the unfortunate deaths of vehicles that have gone through the Ford, the police have finally decided that now is time to take action. A lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, have been commenting on my videos letting me know that it's closed. I am very aware, and I've come down here just to let everyone else know about the situation. So they have closed the entire Ford, so you can drive up to it, you can drive up to it this way, but you cannot go through anymore. They have had police cars parked there before, but now they've got barriers across. This is a semi-permanent solution. You've got evidence still of some of the activities that have happened. You've got a third of a hubcap there, could collect as a souvenir, but I shall place it down there just in case anyone wants to collect that. So what the council ended up doing was collecting all the hubcaps and number plates that would fly off the cars, and that maybe got a bit tiresome. And in my recent video from here, I let you know that the locals have dredged the banks further down the stream. So it was actually really shallow. This is the shallowest I've ever seen it. Look, it's not even coming up on the gauge. People would come through at speeds to create the biggest splash possible. But I'm actually able to walk through most of this in my boots. So you can actually see the bottom for the first time. I'm actually able to walk across the Ford for the first time ever without wellies. There you go. That is where it goes, and you can see how quickly it is now flowing. Here is the bridge where most people would stand. People would stand and view from this point as well, and it's a bit of a sorry sight now. So I thought I'd come down, let you know about what's going on and why it's happened. Obviously, a lot of you will have seen the videos. So back in 2020, Ben Gregors was the first to really publicise this Ford at the end of 2020. Then you have the likes of Tom Sunderland also coming down to film content from here, and their YouTube channel's got so many views that so many other people would come down for that purpose. It took me a while to decide to come down because I live about 3 hours away, so it's a 6-hour round trip for me to come down to the Ford. But a lot of you enjoyed my videos, a lot of you didn't enjoy my videos because you're used to the other videos with no commentary, and here was me providing my spin on it. But that was my whole idea. I thought I'd come down, film a bit of, I don't know, car spotting and put my commentary to it, and hundreds of thousands of you enjoying it. It's just the few that didn't were like, why are you coming down here, jumping on the bandwagon? Truth be told, everyone jumps on everyone's bandwagons. I suppose I was the first to film modified cars leaving a car show. Now hundreds of people do that. So it's not jumping on a bandwagon, it's enjoying what other people have enjoyed and spectating. The locals who live here weren't best pleased about the situations. In a way, they didn't get as many people knocking on their doors asking for help when they'd broken down, because people would come here in their green-aiding vehicles to recover the people that would get stuck in the Ford. Genuinely, people would come down, spend a day here watching the cars go through. Whenever a car would get stuck and hydrolock its engine, they would pull them out in their Land Rover Discovery. But obviously that's not going to happen anymore because this is a no-through route. So they say this is going to be permanent until they've found a better solution as to what to do to the Ford. A lot of you have asked, why don't they build a bridge there? Well, there's a lot of history to Rufford Mill and the Ford, and it's almost protected in what you can do with it. And it was built like that because it was never meant to cause any problems. It was just a puddle, and it would sometimes rise a little bit, and they have signs to close off the route if ever that happens. Obviously, as you saw, people would ignore the road closed signs and just go through anyway. And it was actually up to the locals to switch around these signs to say road closed. So they decided whether it was closed or not. I mean, recent times, most weekends they would just turn them around anyway to try and deter people from meeting up. So I've came down here 3 times. I do still have one more video that I've never posted from this Ford, whereby cars drove up the actual stream. That might come soon, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos of this Ford, the most famous Ford in the world. When I say most famous Ford, obviously a Ford Escort might be more famous than this body of water, but there is the banks there. this land is owned by a local farmer who was very annoyed at what happened, so he dredged the bank so that the river would flow a lot better. He put a fence in here as well to deter people from using his land to go to the toilet, for example. Although right opposite the ford we have a Rufford mill, and they had some nice toilets in there, nice cafe in there, so you're actually all right to spend a whole day here. I would come here from 9 to 5 and I'd get 2 videos out of it. But the reservoir is up there just by the geese, and it would flow gently down the bank and through the road to wherever it goes down there. You can see some evidence, hubcaps in the ditch, and a Citroen C1 who has ignored the countless signs in the area telling everyone that the ford is closed. Likewise, so is the ford. So here we are on the other side of the viewing platform. Caution, please be careful when in this area. Fast cars approaching, high risk of aquaplaning. Do not play in the ford water. Driving and entering the weir is dangerous to wildlife and damaging to the conservation. Any sighting and video evidence will be reported to the necessary authorities. And there's been a lot of video evidence posted online through various channels from this spot and others. The ford would go up to maybe even 3 foot at some time, so you can see how problematic it potentially could be to a car. Because when the water gets into the air filter of the car, that can get sucked in to the engine, and water doesn't compress in an engine, so it will bend the rods or even snap them and completely destroy your engine. Even the size of an egg cup, that's how much water is needed to destroy an engine. So as soon as it gets sucked into the air filter, that's when you're likely to kill your engine. What you can do is normally the engine will stall because of what's happened, and then if you take the spark plugs out and try and start it to squirt the water through the spark plugs, I'm talking really basically because I'm not a mechanic, but you can save an engine. But there are telltale signs, all the steam coming from the exhaust, that you've really ruined the engine just from driving through the water. And most people, just general traffic who drive through, don't know this. They just think, oh, it's just a puddle. It's part of a road. Of course I'm able to drive my car through there, and that's why they end up killing their vehicles, because they are unaware of what damage water can do to an engine. So some of the cars, like I think Minis, have quite high air filters. They can go through in about a couple of foot maybe if they're really slow, but the faster you go, the more likely you are to get the water level up and into your air filter. So obviously it wasn't great for the environment, all the diesel fumes and petrol and oil that was going down the stream, but we're now actually going to go up the stream and have a first glance at where the water comes from. So I'm going to distract these geese and pigeons from this, which is the reservoir of water from which the water comes from. We have Tony, Michael and David. They're regulars here. They have seen oh my god. Well, you may wonder why I've brought you all here. Unfortunately, it's the demise of Rufford Ford. There were so many birds! We should have bought biscuits for them all. Sorry, little fellas. If I put my hand out, they might think that I've got something, but I don't. Who's the vocal? He's the vocal one. Look at him. He's an angry... He's so angry! So here's a better view of it. So all the water flows around there, and then is almost controlled down the waterfall to flow down to the road. However, when this gets too high, mostly due to rainfall, it will overflow here, and I'm not sure what this part is called, but it will run down here and then will fill up the ford a lot quicker because it doesn't have the time to flow downstream, especially when the banks haven't been dredged like they have now. So you can see why there is some kind of historic element about Rufford and the mill and the ford that goes through the road. I was hoping that a police officer would be there for me to talk to and ask about the future plans, because not only are they worried about the driving, they're also annoyed about the people parking. Even though there's a car park right by Rufford Mill, which is like £3 to park there for the day, that's where I would park, and there's plenty of space there. Most people would just park on the side of the road, and the locals got annoyed about that. So that's part of the problem, and obviously the cars dying and then the dangerous driving as well. So it's actually more dangerous when the level was low, because people are more likely to go through at speed to create splashes, which is also against the law. You can get done for splashing pedestrians, and obviously the people that come down the road and end up killing their cars. We've had the likes of a R32 Golf, we've had various Mercedes and Audis and Fiestas for years and years. Way before this place was ever known to anyone outside of this area, families would come down with their kids and watch the cars go through. So it was a known thing, and then as soon as anything goes online, people are going to know about it. And I was very aware of the TikTok videos, the YouTube videos, so I I came down on a random day, there were no car shows on. I thought, let's put my spin on the video. We saw quite a lot happening and a lot of you enjoyed the video, so I came back. I came here 3 times in total, and most people responded well to that, and there are loads of other people that do the same. I met so many guys here, and it's a good community of people too. Like, everyone's friendly. I didn't see much rivalry. Everyone I spoke to was welcoming of me, apart from one guy who was annoyed that I had brought a bad crowd down when I came down. That was the time that I announced that I was coming down, and I said in the post, please drive slowly, because I have to be responsible, because I'm putting my face out there, thus making me the easy target. And I know I'm going to get hate comments on this video because I'm used to it, but here we are, road ahead closed. This is the normal sign that most people would ignore for Rufford Ford. But yes, there are loads of other Fords in the UK, and maybe some of the YouTubers might find another Ford and film the action there, because it's entertaining. There's Facebook groups for people who want to watch the content, and they've all been arguing about the pros and cons of what has happened here. But I have the police reports to hand, so I can tell you exactly why they've closed this Ford. It is the speed of people driving through the Ford, people parking on the grass verges, and people driving up to the sluice gate. I don't know how it's pronounced, but that's the bit up there that I was talking about earlier. And there's loads of details online about what they've done. They're obviously not that worried about people killing their cars, because that's another concerning issue of a complete engine malfunction after just driving to the shops. But let me know in the comments what you think that they should do here. Should they build a bridge? Should they maybe divert the water through some tunnels down through to the stream? Or maybe just reopen it and put some barriers in there to slow people down? Because if you put some width restrictors, that might help as well. It definitely has helped that they've dredged the banks, because as you can see, it's lower than anything can read. But a fun fact, when the water comes up to this line, it's a foot deep. When it comes up to this line, it's 2 foot deep. This line is 3 foot, that line is 4 foot, and sometimes it's gone further than that. Although 4 foot seems pretty extreme. These are 1 foot depth gauges. But I will conclude with a few more nuggets of information in the official report. So they're looking at legal options to impose a community protection order. That's from the district council. Consideration is being given to install barriers to prevent cars from driving up that way, which makes sense because it's not meant to be driven up. A safety assessment is underway in relation to a proposal to install rubber bumps on the approach to slow traffic. This would be temporary but could be made permanent if they prove to be effective. So maybe speed bumps, maybe a width restrictor barrier as well. English Heritage also potentially have an interest in the issue, and there is concern that if the viewing platform, whether it be the bridge there for pedestrians or the one over there, if that's removed, that sightseers will just relocate to a more dangerous position. But warning signage will be increased as well, even though we have about 4 flood warning signs in the area. There will also be improvements to the road surface in the report, but they're concerned that it will be turned into a bit of a rat run once work begins. So that is Rufford Ford. It was always going to happen because it's caused many issues throughout all these months and years that it's been taking place. So let me know in the comments what you think about this Ford. But to conclude the video, I will leave you with some of my highlights from the Ford at my time down here. So I hope you enjoyed that video of my news report about the Ford. Something very different around this festive period when there's not much to film. There's no car shows on at the moment, so I was hoping to come here and do a bit of car spotting and see what turned up. But here we are for potentially the last time at this Ford. Maybe in the future we'll be at other Fords. So let's roll some highlights from the now closed Ford, and follow me on Instagram to be updated as to what I do and maybe what occurs. But for now, thanks for watching. It seems that today most cars that go slowly tend to be alright. Jesus! Oh, it's electric, it'll be fine. Oh, it's going for it. Jesus! Oh, an R32 Golf! From out of nowhere. Oh no. Oh no. He won't start at all. Won't even... Oh, he broke something. Something just snapped. Yeah. Oh, well, another casualty of the day. We have a Honda Civic. Is it a Type R? Going for it. He's lost his plates. There's a plate in there. The front plate came off.
Cleaning crews on it.
It's coming back. Oh, it's the Civics plate. It's the Civics.
No.
It's going.
It's not. Yeah.
Well done. Oh, it's taken time. There's 2 police cars. What they need to do is put the lights on and send it. Are they coming? Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! Yes! Hey! Well done. This one's changed his mind. Almost knocked his colours out of his hair. Now after that, the Audi's made a bit of a splash. Oh, don't say it's died already. No, it's just died a little bit. That's a dead car, I think. What is that? Is that his under tray? That is an under tray. There we go. He's having to climb out now. It's pretty awkward when all eyes are on him, and he's taking his shoes off and he's going in. Oh, there we go. He's now moist. He's being offered a tow. I think we've managed to release the parking brake from the Audi, so the Jeep is going to slowly tow it outside. Oh no, the parking brake is still on, so the rear wheels are being dragged. So they've just got to go for it. Look, the rear wheels are just being dragged because it's hard to take the parking brake off. We are dragging the Audi now. It's basically a skid is what's happening right now. That's how they do it in Tokyo, in case you didn't know. Oh, he's doing a U-turn in the Ford. Haven't seen that before. Hey, what a hero. Oh, no! I forgot about the water. Oh, it's in the boots. I wore good shoes and it didn't work. There's a Focus RS. No, people want him to. Oh, no. DS3 earlier that achieved a good wading. Oh, look. Our Escort's good at fording. He is white wheeling the world, yes. Oh, that's a bit. Oh, he's opened the door. It's all. Oh. There we go. Got the OG YouTuber. Oh, it's gone in the wellies now. Oh, it's in the wellies. Oh, your phone. Oh my gosh. Yes! Oh my god. He's going to push it with the Ranger. Is he? Crash. Ooh. Thumbs up. And it ticks over. Well done. No, that's not gonna. No, that's not. She's floating. It's the float. Oh my god. She can't quite believe it, and it's died. Yep. Dead.
Don't try starting it.
Oh no, water's gone in. Ben to the rescue. I wonder how many cars this Landy has towed out in its past. Look, the Mallards are having a go. It's like 13 miles per hour. No, even the ducks are scared of the Ford. We've got some Rover V8 Revolutions from the disco. Yes, you can do it! Quick! As long as you don't get it in your air filter, you'll be fine. We've got a Jeep doing what Jeeps do best! Okay! that splashed my camera. Let's kind of shake it dry. I'm a bit moist now. After that, this is the slowest entrance into the Ford I've seen, slower than some of the cars that have done it. I think we're into the flow. It's not quite as speedy as I thought it would be. Everyone is capturing the absolute prime content now. This is the best content we've had all day. The rubber ring floating through the Ford. It looks peaceful.
Wow.
He's not getting out.
Got me to come down, yeah. Right, get to paddling.
It's majestic. You're grounding out a little bit.
Get over. I'll go record.
Are you going under the bridge?
Having fun there, Tom.
Boys, don't lose my dinghy.
You're going to need to hurry. There's a Range Rover coming.